All right, so the next movement I'll be going over is a low bar back squat. Before I introduce athletes to the barbell, I want to make sure they can get the movement pattern down without the bar. So we'll be going over just a body weight squat, some types of tactile cues that I want to hammer down before we introduce the barbell. Okay, so I'll have Brian step onto the platform here. So go ahead, put your hands together. Okay, take your stance. Stance will be wider than your clean stance is. Okay, it'll be slightly wider than hip width. Your toes will be pointed outward about 30 degrees. I'm going to have him squat all the way down. Okay. Now, when he's down here, with the new athletes who's squatting, we want to establish a few things so it's fresh in their memory. So, first thing I want to establish is that they need to acknowledge that their feet are flat on the floor. Very important in a squat. Okay, the feet will be flat on the floor. We don't want them coming up on their toes or anything like that. That'll increase stress on their knees, which is what we're trying to avoid. We want to keep athletes healthy and on the field. Okay? So, like I said before, the toes will be pointed outward slightly, so the knees have to follow suit. Okay? We want him to notice how his knee's in perfect alignment with his toe. Okay? There's no twisting on the knee, valgus, stress, anything like that. Okay? And one other very paramount key is that depth. Okay? The hip crease will be below the knee crease in every sort of squat. Okay, I'm a big believer in squatting to parallel for knee health and as far as posterior chain recruitment. So I think that's a huge benefit. You can get a lot of bang for your buck with this movement. Okay, now you've held that for about a minute. I'll get you a little rest. But now we're going to go over the concept of hip drive in the bottom of a squat. Okay, now that I feel comfortable with their position in the hole, we'll go over how to get out of that hole most effectively. So with the low bar squat, it's a little bit different than a high bar squat because the lever arm is longer on your hips. In a high bar squat, you've got more of a knee dominant movement. Okay, so I'll have Brian squat all the way down. With the low bar, obviously the bar will be positioned lower on your back, which creates a more horizontal back angle compared to a high bar where you're more upright torso. Okay, so he'll be a little more bent over than he would be normally, and the load will be more on his hips. Okay, so what I want to do to establish kind of knowledge of that, feel of that, is to load the hips, actively load the hips with my hand, and I tell him to drive out of the hole. I want him to lead with his hips while keeping his chest up. Okay, go ahead. Good. Back down. One more important key to this is that his eyeballs are positioned on the ground with a normal neck position. Okay, he's not extended in the cervical neck. Okay, that I found helps with hip drive. This kind of concept is outlined in Starting Strength. I kind of stole it from that. But I want to show that how eyeballs on the ground will increase your hip drive compared to looking up at the ceiling. So go ahead, squat all the way down, look up at the ceiling. Okay, drive up your hips. Now, which one you felt had more power? Yeah, eyeballs down on the ground. So once we've established kind of that down position and how to come up out of the hole, we'll introduce the barbell. Okay. So he'll take his grip. Normally I want my athletes as close a grip as possible. Okay, without impinging the shoulders. Some people have more mobility issues than others. Go ahead. Thumb will be over the bar and the wrist will be in a normal position instead of overextended. Okay. So, good. The bar will rest right on top of the posterior deltoids. It'll create a nice shelf for the bar to rest on without scooting down the shoulder as we go. Go ahead, unwrap it. Step it out. Okay, elbows will be up to activate these posterior muscles to help create that shelf, like I said earlier. Go ahead and squat down. Knees will be out, feet flat on the ground, and back up. Good. Drive your hips up out of the hole. Good. Eyeballs down, eyeballs down. Feet flat on the ground. See how he's trying to creep onto his toes a little bit. Okay, that could be a little bit of ankle mobility issues, but not bad. Go ahead, Ryan. One more step. So yeah, we'll hit one more step with this. Try to correct some errors. Go from there. pointed out. All right, start the movement. Good. Really reach the hips back. Okay. Good. More really drive your hips out of the hole hard. Eliminate the pause. Just go right through it. Yep. Couple more. And that's kind of the low bar back squat. Okay, with Brian, you probably noticed a little bit of butt wink in the hole. That's okay when we're just first starting the movement. We can get those mobility issues corrected. But right now, we really want to illustrate the concept of hip drive and getting proper depth. And that's the low bar back squat.